Hey, my name is John Stevenson, and welcome to the Guaranteed Retirement Guy Show. Today, we're going to be talking about how to use annuities to either reduce or completely eliminate your RMD requirement. All right, so if you have money in any qualified plan that is tax-deferred, such as a 401k, 403b, IRA, doesn't matter. If you're looking to reduce or get rid of the RMD requirement, the only way to do it, of course, is to either do a Roth conversion, which is extremely expensive, or you're just going to have to start taking out withdrawals and satisfy the requirement that way, or you can purchase an annuity with those funds, and that annuity will either partially reduce your RMD requirement across all of your accounts or completely eliminate it. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to kind of go through some scenarios with you. And then you can kind of decide what would work for you. So if you're looking to purchase an annuity, I'd love to help you. There is a link below this video, and you can book a Zoom meeting right there with me. Or you can go to my website, johnstevenson.com, and you can research the annuities that are available. And then if you feel comfortable, reach out to me, and you can book a call right there on my website. So let's take a look and see how this would work. So I have someone in North Carolina, they got $500,000 that they want to put into an annuity, okay? They're 60, their spouse is 63. They're going to turn income on at 62, and their spouse will be 65 at that time. So if they do that with $500,000, the payout's going to be $40,710 with Corebridge, $40,241 with North American, then you got F&G, ClearSpring, Midland, and so on. So if you're looking for highest income, Corebridge is going to be the highest payout. So based off of that, assuming that this person has $1 million in qualified money, maybe they got $1 million in their 401k and they're going to take half of it to purchase income, half of it to purchase pension. All right. So, which is pretty good. They're going to get $40,000 a year guaranteed for their life and their spouse's life. So the insurance company is on the hook for both lives. And they know, especially with a female being in here, I mean, I'm assuming he's 62, she's 65. They know that she's going to live a long time, especially in your 60s and being married. The statistics are even higher that one spouse will live into their mid-90s. So based off of that, that's what the payout is. If it is a single payout, it's going to be higher, especially if it's for a male. So if you look at that, yeah, they're going to pay out like $3,000 more per year. So it just depends on what your current situation is. But here's what I like about this. If you've got $1 million and your RMD requirement, maybe the RMD requirement is at 4%, they're going to require that you take $40,000 per year out of your qualified accounts. What's nice is you can satisfy this with just half of your account because you purchased an annuity that's paying out the $40,000 a year. So that's what a lot of people will do is they'll satisfy their entire requirement over all of their qualified accounts with just one annuity contract. Now, of course, over time, your other $500,000, if you leave it in the stock market, will probably grow, right? And in 7 years, it might double. So if it doubles, now all of a sudden, your $40,000 that you're pulling out of your other account is not covering as much as it needs to, or is it? Let's take a look. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm just going to leave this at a single payout just to see what it would be here. So if we're taking out $43,000 out a year. And let's say this account has no growth, which I haven't seen, but let's just say it doesn't. It doesn't have any growth. In 10 years, it's only worth $136,000, which means your other account balance maybe has grown to $1 million already, your other qualified money. So you got $1 million there, and you got $136,000 here. Guess what? That $43,000, if the RMD requirement is at 4%, is still covering the entire RMD requirement across everything because your annuity balance has been depleting, right? It's been depleting. And more of this $43,660 is going towards satisfying the RMD requirement from your other growing account, which is nice, which means you don't have to take money out of your other account. Now, if your RMD percentage is higher, obviously you're going to have to take a little bit more out. Now, here's the other thing. If you have some growth in here, then after 10 years, it'll be a little bit more. It'll be like $230,000, right? So $230,000 plus $1 million that you got sitting over there, you got $1.2 million. $43,000 might not be enough to cover the RMD requirement, but it'll be covering probably most of it. So that's where you might decide at that point, well, I'm going to buy another annuity contract and I'm going to stack another $30,000 in income, and I'm going to cover my RMDs, and that will allow my money that's still sitting in my 401k, or maybe you moved it to an IRA at that point. It'll allow that to keep growing, and I don't have to take money out of that right now for RMDs because it's being satisfied now by my two annuity contracts held in other IRAs. So that's a great way to do it. Sometimes people would just put, well, I'll just put all my money into it from my qualified accounts and I'll leave my non-qualified money out so that my RMD requirement is just covered forever. And that's a great strategy to use because you might have $1 million in non-qualified and $1 million in qualified, and you might be like, I just want to get rid of the qualified so I don't have to deal with it. So I'll just buy the annuity with my qualified money, put it all into an IRA with the annuity contract. I get my lifetime income, so I'm good there. My RMDs are covered, so I'm good there as well. And now I can focus on my other investing with my non-qualified assets, and I'm never subject to RMDs for those. So that is a great way to do it as well. So this is how people are doing it. This is how people are reducing or completely eliminating their RMD requirements, aside from just doing a Roth conversion. I mean, if you do a Roth conversion, you can do that. And let me show you real quick which carriers will allow that. So if I did a Roth conversion with this money, let's say I put 500 grand in and I want to do a Roth conversion within 2 years. So I'm going to be doing like $250 a year. Then I have to pick a carrier that will allow it. And so far in this list, I got to come down to Midland. Midland will allow it. Okay. And their income's virtually the same. So Midland will allow partial conversion. So you want to do $250 a year, every year for 2 years, you can do that. And then this money is no longer subject to RMDs because now it's Roth. And then you got tax-free income. So if you want to do something like 5-year deferral, let's see what that looks like. Then Midland's on top. Yeah, the income's a lot higher too, $57,000. That way you could spread it out. Maybe you're like, well, $250 is kind of too much, so I'm going to do $100,000 in Roth conversions every year for 5 years. Then at the end of 5 years, I'll take higher income. It's tax-free, and I could spread out my Roth conversions a little bit. So that is another way to do it, but it's just expensive. You got to look at that expense and decide, is paying those taxes, is that worth it? Because you look at that and your break even might be somewhere in your 80s. And a lot of times people look at that and they're like, it's not worth it. And so it just depends on what your goals are. But for the purpose of this video, I just wanted to show you how you could use an annuity contract and how you can satisfy most or all of your RMD requirement with some of your funds, not all of your funds. I mean, if you want to use all of your qualified funds, you certainly can. But as you can see from this video, you don't have to use all of it to satisfy the requirement for all of your qualified money, which is pretty nice. So I hope this video is helpful. If it is, make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment below if you have questions. If you are looking to purchase an annuity for yourself and you're looking for someone who is willing to show you everything, regardless of what his commissions are, then book a meeting with me. Okay, there is a Zoom link right below this video, and it'll allow you to go into my calendar and book a call there, and we'll get on a meeting and I'll show you everything that's available. And then you can ask questions and see which ones work for you. What I do recommend, though, is if you are looking to purchase an annuity, first go to my website, johnstevenson.com, and then research the annuity options that are available right there on my website. Because my website actually pulls all the data from all of the carriers, and you can research what all the annuity payouts right there are. And then if you feel comfortable, you can book a Zoom meeting with me right there on my website. So if you're looking for highest income, typically it is the income rider calculator, and you'll notice that on there as well. So it's a great calculator to use if you're looking for a lot of flexibility as far as when to take income, not having to be subject to take income at 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. You can just defer it for as long as you want and activate it whenever you want. Then the income rider is typically the best choice because it'll allow you that flexibility. It has cash value, and it usually is the highest lifetime payout as well. So anyways, hope that helps. I appreciate you for watching, and we'll see you next time.